Okay, so number 9 on the QR code review gives us a graph that looks like this, and it wants us to find a sine function that matches this graph and a cosine function that matches this graph, okay? So for me, what I did for the sine function was I chose to use this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. So we'll do this kind of like in black, kind of like outline it a little bit in black for you. So you would highlight this section right here. And the equation that matches that black section would be a sine function that would look like this. F of x would be equal to -2. So the reason it's negative is because it's upside down. So that's my negative. I have a sine function. My period is still 2 pi because from -pi/4 to 7pi/4 is still a distance of 2 pi. So that doesn't change. But the graph has been shifted over pi/4 to the left. So I would say x plus pi/4. And then the whole midline has been shifted down 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So that's a -3. So that's the one that I did for the sine function. There are lots of other answers, so don't get confused if your answer doesn't look like mine. The blue, or the cosine function, this is the one that I chose to do. So I did this point here, this point here, this point here, this point here, and then, yeah, I think it was somewhere over here, this point. So anyways, it'd be you can't really see it, but this is the one that I chose to do. And it kind of like goes up the screen like that. Anyways, so this function in blue would be a negative cosine curve because it's flipped over. So it'd be -2 cosine. My period is still 2 pi. That hasn't changed. But this graph has been shifted over pi/4 to the right. So I'd write this as x minus pi/4. And then the whole midline has been shifted down 3. So that's what I would choose for the blue one. So you would just pick and highlight different sections on the test and create the curve or the function that matches that section of the curve. Now there's lots of different answers for it, so don't get confused if that one is different than mine.